patients alike. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Erigaisi. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvork, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion.
All right, my friends, welcome to the Grad Show. I think today we're going to do this all in one go. We have kind of a lightish day today, 21 people. In the past, I would say we've been averaging about 35 graduates a week. So, let's do it. Ladybug. Ladybug says, the dojo keeps me honest with the amount of studying I promise to do. By looking at charts, I can't hide when I'm not working. Also, the student who introduced me to this program has stayed by my side. He is very patient since I have trouble navigating programs. Without his help, I would have stopped using this program. Do you hear that, dev team? He is also willing to play chess games with me, even though his cohort is above mine and his study skills are stellar. Thank you, Chess Ambassador from Humble Grasshopper. Oh, great. Well, you should have given him props. Tell us who he is. Let's go look at Ladybug. Oh, I got too many windows open, Cry. You got just too many windows open. So let's close down some windows, buddy. Jeez, Melise. Okay, here's the Ladybug. Let's give Ladybug a follow. You can see that she has been pushing it and is up to 401 there. 651chess.com. I just started a big old series on how to make 600, how to make 700. So maybe check those out on YouTube. They're performing terribly. Maybe because people are like, I don't need to watch no video to know how to make 700chess.com. I don't know. But I'm still pumped on this series. Maybe it'll take off. Maybe there'll be a little bit more interest when we hit 1,000 or something. We just published how to make 700. Okay, so you can see she's done a lot of tactics, and yeah, she's doing great. She's doing great. Tactics and games, very appropriate for what's going on. I think this is just beautiful to see. right? Beautiful to see, and there's her graduation. All right, let's go see if we got some clubs, Ladybug. No. Ladybug, tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe a club. I think clubs sometimes tell us, you know, I don't know, something about you. All right, so we got some blender games and stuff. And we have, I guess, an IRL game here. Okay, tournament game, great. So she lost track of the times. Ooh, the time control thing is really weird. But in any case, we're going to go over here. I find that I think too much and need a longer time. The dojo is correct. That's right. Okay, so let's get into it. So far, great. Great. Fine. You know, it's funny. I feel like so many players who just begin chess get this position. They get this position. And it's great because they've just followed opening principles to get here. Fantastic. Whereas if you show them slightly different openings, like they'll do weirder stuff. Here, they'll often get this particular position. Maybe of all positions... Okay, here's my bet. Here's my bet. You take all the games of chess ever played. This is the most common move 6 position. Wait a second, Cry. Where's your vid feed, buddy? Oh, I know where it is. It's off is what it is. Let's turn this on. I like my claim, dude. I feel pretty good about my claim. All right, let me just turn on YouTube over here. There we go. Back to your vid feed, buddy. Okay. So, first we're going to mark this as reviewed. All right. So, bishop d5, fine. Fine. Poor. Why? Because it's not a developing move. Bishop g4 would have been more annoying, or maybe g5. Now it's interesting. I think much safer would be knight d4 followed by knight d5. Because if you take the knight, then you don't have to worry about any bishop g4 stuff. And that's indeed what happens here. All right, so bang, bang, c3. Okay, now it's getting spicy. Boom, boom, boom. It's getting spicy. Rook e1, king h8, king h1. Now, king h8 is a mistake because it will allow us to gain a tempo on this pawn later. So king h7 was better. And that looks like that's a terrible move. Now black could have won our queen with bishop g2 check, king g1, bishop f3. So we needed to play rook g1. Black doesn't see it. Boom. And now we're doing great. Now you're doing great. Terrible. Hanging the piece. Now, I want to stress, at this level, the biggest factor is always people hanging their coconuts. Okay? And so here we see this bishop f2 just hanging their stuff. That's how these games are decided. Fine. Now let's trade. Fine. Great move. Oh, bishop e6. Very nice. Thank you very much. Ooh, nice move. Oh, you're just destroying here. Good. Ah, beautiful chess. Now, we could have... did she say goodbye? I think she said something like, goodbye, brave warrior. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Now, you're winning, but we want to say here it would be better to keep control. So h4 followed by bringing the king up and then advancing when you got your guys in action. But you are definitely winning this. And this should be basic. Now, the problem is we might be losing our pawn on King f6 would be more testing because then we lose the pawn on f5. good. Bishop d4 looks pretty good too. There we go. Simple chess. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're playing great chess. And then time forfeit. Oh, now who lost on time though? Okay, so it looks like she lost on time. Oh, now I want to say something about this game. There was definitely some mistakes, and the time I actually don't understand. Let me just show the time graph. Something weird happened with the time graph. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It looks kind of weird. Yeah, I don't get it. In any case, I want to stress that this is a great game, and I think everything you're doing is great, and you are definitely going to graduate again soon. And this experience you're doing of the over the board, fine. I don't care that you lost this game. It's sad, yes, but you're on part of a bigger journey, and you developed, you didn't hang your pieces, right? So that's the most important thing for right now. And when you play some longer games, maybe with an increment or something like that, it'll be a little easier for you. Okay. Alex says about the position when I was learning as a kid, this was basically taught as what is right. Yeah. All right, beautiful. Let's go to the next. I gotta just say, Alex, dude, my knee has been hurting, buddy. My knee's been hurting. My ulnar nerve thing came back because they forced us to do cleans at the CrossFit as well as those stupid pull-ups. So what does that mean? It means I've been working on L bench because that's the only thing I can do. And bows. Oh, I finally hit the 5x205, buddy. And then I did the 1 rep max converter. I don't know if you believe in that, the 1 rep max converter. But anyways, it says then I'm up to 238 bows. That 5x205 equals 238. And I was like, God damn. God damn. Okay, here we go. Seerjazz. Seerjazz says, coming back to the dojo after a 1-year break from chess. Happy to see I didn't forget too much. Working hard on the puzzles and just playing games with best possible mindset and minimizing blunders allows me to graduate again. My focus for this cohort will be doing a lot, and by that, improving my game analysis and annotation. Blue skies ahead. Okay, beautiful. So this is Seerjazz. Generation X. He's my age, dude. This is an old dude. He's an old man trying to make it. And look at that jump that he got there on the chess.com. He just slayed some people. Came back to the dojo after a break. So looking good. Yeah, he's part of that 50-plus crowd. We got a lot of people, 146 people now. All right, so just came back. Looks like mostly tactics and game analysis. So this is cool. And we got a couple games here. Now, I'm going to choose this 30-30. At this cohort, the dojo round robins are usually played at 30-0, but we want to stress that that is a minimum time control. Oh, this one isn't annotated, unfortunately. We want to stress that's a minimum time control. So that's something you can ask your opponent. Be like, hey, Bobs, could we play a slightly longer game? Now, the first couple games I've clicked into for Seerjazz have not been annotated. Here's one. So this is this game against Tarek. Maybe somebody from the dojo. So, boom. Here is a beautiful time graph. Look at that thing. And that's one of the highest scores, highest scores I've seen. Now, one of the things that's maybe a little misleading about our time management rating is when you look at 30-0 games, that's the minimum time control we have to work with our time management rating. you'll sometimes see it's easier to get a higher rating there than it is at a longer time control. So maybe that part about it's misleading. But still, Seerjazz had some great time usage here. One of the bummers, too, about our time management rating is when you look at a game without increment, then it's kind of the end. Maybe he just lost on time. Maybe he just lost on time. If he had an increment, it wouldn't be so bad that he got so low. All right. Yeah. So let's get back to this game. Right, Alex. I think too the maxing out, dude. It's not going to be amazing. All right. Terrible move. And it's very typical at this level that what they're going to do is kind of hurl their pieces at you. And he's dreaming of this, but we don't have to do it. We don't have to give it to him. Okay. Fine move, but yes, I think bishop f5 would be better. Okay, fine. Poor, not developing. Okay. Weird. Totally weird. Knight e4 is fine. Good. A3, terrible. So they will give you tempi, and this is a great move. Beautiful. Now you're freeing your bishop. Also, when they give you time, that is the cue for us to open the position. All right. So now there's an interesting little problemito in casito, because you say knight g3 is a bad move. Now, maybe it is. But it is something you want to do, right? You want to play, if you can play h6. And, you're damaging the king and the pawns. You want to play knight e5, all of this stuff. The question I have is, could dude have played pop, check to the miserable king? I don't know, by the way. I don't know. We're not done yet. Something like this. Holy moly, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. So I think you're going to survive this, but I can't. There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees that you're going to survive this one. Okay, so I think this was okay. If that's true, that's a hard call. Fine. All right, now we want to go win that e-pawn. Oh, that's not good. During the game, I was too stressed. Now, the problem with this move is it sets you up for a bishop h7 tactic. I think the simple thing you can do here is play queen e7, knight f3, rook e8, take the pawn, and then you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Okay, so queen g5, snip, snap. Now, this bishop h7 worries me. It really worries me. I think I'm right to be worried, by the way. I think I'm right to be worried. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. Okay, rook h5, knight e5. Now, he says turtle, i.e. he's taken too long, and he also talks about rook e8. So finally, white sees this, and now everybody's terrified. Maybe white had better, okay, but we're just going to keep it at that. Bishop e6, I'm not thrilled, but we got to get rid of that bishop, I guess. He should have taken. Oh, no, now he's getting a little frisky. Boom, boom, check to the miserable king. And now bishop d5. Now, again, you guys, it is all about hanging the coconuts. Here, what do we want? Play f6. It's not just to guard the pawn, but it's also to keep this rook completely locked out of the game. Good. Good. Check to the miserable king. Bishop d5. Knight c4, probably knight c4, yep. Now we're lost, but there's still an adventure to be had. Good move by white. Good. Knight h3. Where's he going? Nobody knows. Good move. I like that king f5. Now he needs to find knight f2. Good move. Rook e5. Good move. Good move from white. Oh, no. Dude, actually, I just want to say, this guy you're playing, Tarek, he's rated 759, and he's made his share of mistakes, but still, the last couple moves have been very well played. I might have chosen f4 there. Check to the miserable king. Ah, good move, Tarek. Good move. Okay, that was a bad move. All right, he's still beating us. That's rough. It's rough days. Ooh, that was a bad move. Good move. Oh, it's hot. King e5, and now you're... Well, king f5 makes more sense. He checks you, and you go over here. Yeah, you need to play king f6. He doesn't take it. What are you doing? You got to play g4. Oh, finally. Oh, no. Oh, God. Yep. Blunder. Blunder. Even if I lost on time here and would have anyways lost if not for the blunder, there's still always a chance at my level. Okay. Now, key thing, I get it that you lost time. You need to take that pawn, buddy. You need to get rid of that pawn. Whew. Ah, that was rough. So one of the things that maybe we could even criticize about the program for a second is we do this thing where we say, I think it's up to 800. We say 30-0 for you. Because we were mostly seeing that at those lower levels, people weren't using their time. And so as you go up, you get more and more time added. But one of the things I'll just say for Seerjazz is whether you're playing in, let's say you're playing in a round robin tournament or even just online, you can find a longer game. You can ask your round robin opponents to be like, hey, Jesse says we should play a little longer. Can we play 30-30? Can we play something, longer? Again, that 30-0 is a minimum time requirement. And something I want to stress for Seerjazz here is, and also for Ladybug, is you're doing great with your thinking. Your opponent, not so much, right? So we want you to continue that and to try to get longer time control games. Okay, great. Let's go back. Boom, boom. We got CGH, just getting back into the dojo and getting reacquainted with everything. Well, that's what we like to hear. This is CGH, just started, as you can see. 676 flying up. Has done some tasks. Okay, so clubs. Okay, beautiful. Games. All right, here we go. So as you can see, this is totally normal. We got a bunch of 30-0 games. Good. Let's see what we got here. So this is, all right, here's a very typical time graph problem. So one of the reasons we created the time graph in the first place, before we even had the time management rating, was to inform people like his opponent here that, hey, if you don't use your time, you might as well be playing a 5-minute game or something, buddy. So I'm hoping we won this game. It's not a guarantee that we're going to win it, of course, but it's a strong indicator that we're going to win this bad boy here. Okay, so here we go. Faugra says, you started early today after I sent in a bug report about Discord's incorrect grads auto post. I set it for 11. I don't know if it went in there, but I redid it for 11 because we have a podcast at 1, and I just wanted to make sure we had enough time to get through it. Sometimes I change it up, and yeah, I tried to be as consistent as possible. Okay, fine. Fine. Poor, poor, not developing. Now, this I'm going to call a flamboyant move. Flamboyant because you're taking an extra move to develop your bishop, but I think I can get behind it. You're trying to get it just on a much more active square and to be out of the way of the rook. Poor, not developing. Now, something I just want to turn you on to here is bishop g7 is kind of cool, because if they continue to fail to develop, oh, we're going to get them now. We're going to get them now. It's like we're going to castle, put this rook here. Hello, baby. That's how we punish people who don't develop. All right, I agree with you. Not a good move. Now the bishop, your bishop is very strong. Poor, not developing. Good move. Okay. Now, h6 looks very strong. Good move. Good move. Get him. Oh, yeah. That's welcome to the dojo. Now, one of the things you could have told your opponent if you did a postmortem after the game, you'd like, buddy, maybe if you slowed it down, you might have a chance in this game. Boom. Check to the miserable king. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, simple chess. I like queen f4, but still, it's hard to argue. Give me all your coconuts. All of them, please. Oh, man, this is brutal. Look at that. Bang. He's like, queen c3, I missed checkmate. Oh, you did, but this looks pretty good. Yeah, so this, let's go back. So, yeah, we'll go back a second here. That was really well done. And I'm going to call that an impressive win. So for CGH, just getting back into the dojo, I'm going to say, yeah, I expect you to go up some more. Let's check in with let's just go look at your tactics benchmarks for a second. Show completed tasks. He's done his stuff. Yeah. So you can see he's hit the benchmarks over here. Okay, genius. All right. The Cooj abides. Cooj doesn't say anything, but his name says it all. Wait, I gotta get this corrected. This is the Cooj abides. What is the Cooj? We're gonna follow the Cooj. He's done a lot of tactics. Just got up to 604, looking good. Got some clubs, Cooj? No. So he's done a bunch of tactics. But he's got some games with the Cooj abides. Let's hit this all uploads. So, he's been playing a bunch of 15-10 games. Now, the problem with that, Cooj, is we really want to discourage that. And generally, I don't want to go over a game that's 15-10. Now, for your work, right, we do have the blunder games, and that's probably what you're doing there. But we want to stress that we really want you to play a 30-minute game as a minimum. Well, take a look at your profile. You gotten these made in twos. That's looking good. We definitely want, let's just complete a task here. Yeah, you hit your puzzle survival thing. You're close over here. So in general, it's looking good. So again, maybe it seems mean, but I want you to play them classical games. That's what we want to look at. Okay. All right. Great. Next up, we have Paul Fairley. I feel a slight fraud as I have only graduated because my chess comm rating improved significantly over the last few days. Hopefully it won't drop just as quickly. Yeah, well, that's possible. But you are totally, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, Paul Fairley, it happened. How much is the trading plan? I believe it's 15 a month and about 100 something a year. So we make the year a lot cheaper than the monthly payment. Oh, Paul F. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Well, it happens to the best of us. We're going to give you a follow. Paul, you'll make it back, bud. You'll make it back. See, he graduated up here, man. That's rough. So, clubs, nothing. Games, Nothing. So, Paul, it's very clear you will make it back, and you just joined, I think. Yeah, you just joined. So you'll make it back and get a little work done. We'll see you again on the next graduation. Okay, Dr. Sukfangsteinina. He says, a few decent classical results this week has pushed me into 700. There was some luck involved, and I think the next graduation will be harder work. Okay. So, you can see that I remember from last week, I think, he also graduated. He's been flying up. Joined he joined here, been here for a month, and has already gone up 125 points. Mostly doing tactics. Let's see what's going on with the Steiner. He's got the down under, the chess steps, all this stuff is going on. Okay, games. Uh-oh. Oh, we got a bunch of games. So here he's playing 30-30 games. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Let's go give it a click. So first question. Ooh, look at this. Now, look at that. See what we're talking about, my friends? A lot of these people, they ain't thinking. You can understand why we created this graph. Now, in my little series on the skills you need to make it to the next level, basically all the way up to, let's put it about 1800chess.com, you're going to see that time usage is, I put it basically always at 15%. So 15% of the skills you need to acquire are using your time. Now, it's a little weird to say because you could argue that you just got to be aware of it. But no, I think it's actually a skill. Thinking is a skill that you need to develop. And we see so many players like the doctor's opponent that just don't have it yet, right? And so usually we crush them. The dojo players do. That's what we like to do. We like to punish these people. But let's see how the doctor does here. So, get in here. Poor. Good. Poor. Good. Fine. Fine. You're doing great. Poor move. Now, G6. Fine. Beautiful. So now we want a pawn. And I don't know if we're ahead in development, but we're doing pretty good. So boom, you could also take with a knight here. I'm fine with what you did. This one, I think, is just safer to play bishop g7 first because you don't really want to lose this pawn. And you can put the knight on e7 next. He should take that pawn. He does not. Fine, I like knight d5 better. Okay. Poor, not developing. Good move. I don't know. Now, I don't recall the point of this move. I think you want to trap his queen. I think you want to trap the queen. So, yeah, you could do a lot of things we want you to develop. Bishop g7 followed by rook d8 makes the most sense to me. Okay, a little funky. Because now we just lose a pawn. So you lost a pawn, and I also want you to see your knight didn't do too good over there. You're still doing fine, though, because you're still more active. I don't like it because you're in the way of your rook. I want you to double them, people. Hanging the pawn. And he says, I think I missed that the pawn was unprotected. Now, my friends, let's stress, at this level, the most important thing is not losing your stuff. Okay? Good. At least it's a good try. Okay. Okay. A little bit unclear what people are doing here. And now GH6 looks pretty good. Would your opponent have found it if they were thinking? I'm going to say yes. Good move. Okay. Poor. Poor. Letting your rook come down. Give me a break. Thank you. Rook f2. I don't like that. Your knight needs to play, so let's bring him in. I think knight e5 is a crushing body blow, really, because you're hitting everything. Bang, bang. Rook f2. Again, this is a question of tactics. I think you're toast after rook d4. Good move. Good move. Yeah, buddy. I don't know. Maybe it's just, it looks cooler than it is. Oh, yeah. Thank you. He's just hanging. It's just hanging all his stuff. All right, it's getting a little hot. Now he's just hanging his piece. Thank you very much. What? It's funny. He resigns here. Why are you resigning now, buddy? You had plenty of opportunities to resign earlier. Okay, so that's what that's what it looks like. Now let's just stress. We have a simple situation where the doctor is using more time than his opponent. Both sides have trouble hanging stuff. Okay, the doctor's going to hang less, even if his opponent's more talented, right? As we saw here. I'm not saying he's more talented. You just know, but you know what I mean. All right, here we go. So we will continue, and now we have the Orc Slayer. I like that one, the Orc Slayer. So Orc Slayer just joined. We're going to give him a follow. 679. They also graduated and then plummeted. He's done some tactics. No clubs yet. Has done some games. No. So Orc Slayer just joined. You know, a lot of times you join the dojo and you just automatically go up a little bit. But then it, came back a little bit down to earth. But I'm confident he keeps that heat map up looking like that, like he began it. And he is going to be graduating again soon. And we'll see some games from you, Orc Slayer. Okay. So, let's continue over here with Sticky Pawns. I like Sticky Pawns. That's a nice name. I took a break to recover from surgery, then tried a few coaching lessons, but ultimately I decided coming back to the dojo was the best fit. I also had my first OTB in Canada. Enjoyed it so much I signed up for 2 classical tournaments this month at 2 different clubs. Beautiful. Okay. So, adult chess learner. Already graduated once. So, 703 looking good. They also have an amazing Canadian rating. Now, when you just play a couple games, it's probably not stabilized yet. Eventually, though, Sticky Pawns can think about, like, after they get like 25 OTB games under their belt, they might say, hey, I want to use that as my default rating. Okay. Lumbra's in our YouTube chat. Nice. Our YouTube, it's different now. It's listing me top fans and stuff. It's giving Lumbra as the top fan. Maybe it's a new thing. Maybe it's a brave new world over here with how YouTube works. I hope so. The streaming on the YouTube has been a little lame of late, but now I'm liking this. At least it looks, the new layout with the fans and stuff looks pretty cool. Okay, so where are we? I think we already did clubs. Well, we did. What did we do? That was somebody else. All right. So I think you got to be part of the Canadian club. If you're in Toronto or whatever, you got to join that Toronto club. Then we got some games. We got loads. Ooh, look at this, a 90-0. And I have a feeling this is his OTB game that he was talking about. So first OTB game. Beautiful. And he's got 5-round tournament in 2 weeks. Oh, this is great. Okay, so first, do we have times? We don't. I would say, Sticky Pawns, that for your future games, it would be to your great benefit if you wrote down the times. It would help you during the game keep track of like kind of what's going on. It just takes a second. Just write it on the score sheet. And then also, when you put it in, it'll give you and me, anyone else watching, a sense of what was going on in terms of that story of the clock. Okay, so let's go game review. Here we go. All right. This is a common mistake. It's not the end of the world, but basically the queen is well placed on d4. Generally, we say we don't want to develop the queen, but if we can't push her away, white's doing good. A little funky, good move. Poor move. Oh, no. So here, obviously, black is hanging their stuff. Okay. All right. Good. Poor. Why is it poor? Because it's not developing. Fine. Okay. That's a bad move. Take it! Got him! Oh, baby! Take it! Oh, it's a full-on house fire over here. G6. Queen G3. A little fancy. Fine. Beautiful centralization. Yeah. Simple chess. Simple chess. Check to the miserable king. How about a mate? Bang. So beautiful. That's what we want to see. I'm sure not all your opponents are going to be as weak as this player, but you played it great. And I don't really, besides playing Queen G7, that was GM level, right? That was GM level. So, well done. Boom. Now we're going to do I Wish I Were Decent. I Wish I Were Decent is he's one of the power users in the dojo, graduating all the time. So excited to graduate again. I am loving the process of getting better bit by bit, slowly but surely. And now I am really enjoying the longer time controls. Thank you to everyone that has helped me, and I'm looking forward to hopefully graduating again soon. So, oh my Lord, look at this. He is a demon. He is working hard. So, right, 917. Look at that progress, my friends. Look at that. He's gone up 669 points since joining the dojo. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whew. All right, we got some clubs over there in Toledo, Ohio. Beautiful. Okay. And now we got some games. Let's go over here. Boom. This looks very recent. Let's give this. This is a weird time control. It says 30 plus 90. That's a one I've never heard of before, but why not? Why not 30 plus 90? Oh, no. Look at that, my friends. Oh, now if I Wish I Were Decent lost this game, then we're going to really yell at him. We're going to probably yell at him anyway. So one of the amazing things about this graph, of course, is like they got 90 seconds extra move, and they weren't thinking at all. So I'm going to spend more time looking at this game than they did playing it. All right, so here we go. So he's all excited about the London. But see, look, just develop your pieces. Your opponents are going to do something weird at this level. It's not like you need London theory. You just need to bring out your guys. Okay, fine. It's funny, after the H6 move, black has played more or less reasonable moves. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Good move. I would say that's a very strong decision. D takes E5. It wins a tempo. And, well, maybe you didn't have this idea in the game, but eventually we're going to want to play queen to G4. We can start with knight D2 first. Bishop A4, poor. Why? That bishop's already doing something where it is. There's no need to be putting the bishop. And that's a developed piece. So, Opening principles. These guys are crying at you. They're like, bows. I got to get out. I got to get out. Now, would you have played a better move if you were thinking? I'm going to say yes. Okay, good. Interesting. Now, can black get out of this? Maybe not. Knight c5, good move. Terrible. He has to play rook f7. Oh, this has got to be, we got to talk about this, bows. You just won a piece, and now you're going to give it back with queen g7. What are you doing? And in your annotations, you got to note it. You take, you take, you take, you take. Weird. Bishop c2 makes more sense. Weird. I don't get it. Good. A little funky. Good. Okay, I like that. Black doesn't know what he's doing. He's just going back and forth. Okay. 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 No, I like in general what you're doing. You improved your knight. That was nice. Check to the miserable king. That's what they get. That's what they get for not thinking at all. Right? That's what they get. Thank you very much. And now pin and win. Very nice. Simple chess. Simple chess. Simple chess. Uh-oh. Mouse slip. He says it might be accidentally brilliant. No. No. First of all, look, black 5 seconds doesn't even understand. He's like, dude, you're pinned. You were just in a pin, and now you repinned yourself. You got to at least try rook takes b7. This is weird. Just play rook takes b7. Bishop c8. Fine. Just resigns. And he says, and now I get to graduate once again. Okay, beautiful. Couple things just to say about this game. First is the time usage was abysmal. That is the most important thing for you to work on. Your development needs work. And in general, you didn't hang too many coconuts. So that part of it seems good. All right. So, well done. We're going to see I Wish I Were Decent probably again pretty soon. Next up, we got Matt. Matt doesn't tell us anything. Let's see what's going on with Matt. Well, Matt just got here, I think. Well, it's kind of weird, actually. What's going on with Matt? He's been here for, I don't know. Let's say, no clubs, got some games. I don't think so. So, Matt, you're a ghost. You're a ghost. Nobody knows what's going on, Matt. Tell us something. Give us some games, bows. Arsenal says, should I set my cohort to my FIDE? I would say you should set your preferred rating to the one where you are playing the most, right? Stinky Little Ghost says, going from 1150, 1250 chess.com went okay, but I feel like I'm definitely slowing down progress-wise. Trying to get as many classical games as I can OTB, join a chess club, but online I do mostly Blender games. Blender games are like 15-0 games. I've had good luck using the calendar feature here to get a few classical games in online, and my chess network, both here and IRL, is getting big enough that I can manage to get a quality. Michael, thank you for following. That I can manage to get a quality long time control game when time allows. But until now, I feel like the shorter time controls have been good for progress. Over the last month or so, I'm getting the feeling that the shorter games feel more like candy, albeit tasty candy. And the longer games feel like healthy food, chess-wise. That's right. That's absolutely right. So, Stinky Little Ghost has really done a lot of improvement. Let's go take a look. As you can see, that's just a straight up progress, buddy. Just a straight up progress. And you haven't slowed down yet. Now, let's just go look at this. Look at that heat map, dude. Since joining, he has been on it, doing mostly tactics. And so the interesting thing about this is usually we see kind of a flattening of the curve in any human endeavor, right? So eventually we'll get a flattening, but so far this is very linear, the progress here. Okay, so that's cool. We got some clubs. All kinds of clubs, beautiful. Maybe he's in Kuppenauen. So we got some games. And he's going to be playing a higher rated player now in an OTB game. Let's see if we got times. We do. Look at this. Ooh, buddy. So this is a 60 plus 30. And look at that. Very nice time management from the Stinky Little Ghost. All right. So. Good. Fine. 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 Poor. So he talks about playing e5, and this problem with bishop c4 is exactly what his opponent does. Now, this is not the end of the world for us. It just means that he's going to be able to knock our center down a peg. Good. I think this is your best way of responding. c5. Good move by your opponent. c3. And now I definitely think they should take on d4. He gives you what I think is a break with queen c7. All right, good. Good. Now, I don't know. You're fine. You're doing okay. Okay, maybe bishop e3 here. Oh, you're a weenie. You're a weenie. Okay. All right. So that tells me everything I need to know about who you are as a person. Okay, fine. Now notice e6 isn't great because it blocked out his own bishop. You've got an interesting choice now. Do you take or do you play bishop e4? Okay. I really like that annotation. I'm sure it's plausible to play bishop takes, but bishop e4, even if the computer doesn't like it, I want to say is more testing, because you're just telling black, you're like, hey, buddy, how is it that you want to get out of this mess? Right? Okay, maybe f5, actually. I think f5 might be the way for black. They go h6. Good move. f5. Okay, good move by black. Now forcing our hand, and you went back. Yeah, that's the bummer. I think in that point, we maybe want to take the thing. Now, what I want to say about knight e7 is he's not fixing his primary problem, which is the bishop. Okay, good move. All right, now we probably want to play either bishop b3 or c4. Snip, snap. No, okay. I don't know. King f6, rook fe1. Ooh, blunder. So blunder call. This is our second knight d7 of the day. So beautiful. By the way, let's just say the obvious. This kind of thing is how these games are decided. We can talk about tempi and what's best and yada yada, but at this level, the game will be decided by some kind of knight d7. And we should stress, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Just because we won the exchange at this level doesn't mean the game's over. All right, I like bishop b3 here. I'm not sure I understand rook d4. Good. I don't know. Okay, so now he blunders a pawn, but the good news is we can get it back. How about rook a1? Yeah, he mentioned that. All right. This now is a mistake because rook a1, we want to exchange rooks. Very important. So good. And now we're threatening mate, so we must take. Now, what I'm about to tell you might sound a little advanced, but this position will help you understand it. When you are down the exchange, you really want to keep one of your rooks on, because Here, in the position with the rooks, rather, you have the ability to control both the black and the white. Here, you're just totally cooked. White has all the dark squares, and you got nothing. All right, here we go. Poor move, rook a6. Good move. Good. I like that g3 move. Good move. Simple chess. Good move. Oh, you're doing great. Oh, ooh. I traded here feeling certain that the endgame was a fairly easy win, but things didn't go quite as smooth as I had imagined. Now, I do think it's probably winning, but this is too hectic, my friend. This is unnecessary. Look, just push. Just push and then push. The king can't cross back over. You're totally crushing this fool. Okay. b4. King f2. Now, I think we need to play king d3. This is where we need to calculate. And you did have some time left here. We want to play king d3 so that we can meet king d5 with c4, and we just have to count hg, fg, king e3, and we're winning. Now it's a little frightening. Good. I think it should still be winning. We're going to bring the king to e4. That isn't it. Okay. No, not over. Yeah. Well. Well. All right. This is probably winning. Okay. He's going to give it to you by playing f3. No, it's fine. I was going to say I was a little worried here or something, but you just play king f3 and you shouldered it. Okay, so well done. A little bit freaky at the end with the rook takes. Okay, so what do we want to say about this game? You're a trading fiend, and the hanging of the coconuts was really what decided it. You did better than your opponent. Both of you guys played great on the clock. And I just want to tell you, in my experience, I did a whole video of this, of online versus OTB. People online are generally going to be the criminals when it comes to time usage, because you're distracted and it's easier just to sit there and play quickly. For example, when I play blitz chess, I don't want to play 3-2 because I'll get distracted if my opponent's thinking a little bit, But 3-0, I can be like, pop, 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 and it's a way, to play. It's for fun. It's just for fun. Okay, well done. I'm going to mark this as reviewed. Bang. So, ambush. Oh, ambush, buddy. This guy is a hero of the dojo. We got a couple of heroes, and Imagion here is coming up too. All right, so, ambush. Wait, first I got to read it, boss. It took me 18 months to complete my previous cohort, but I stormed through this 100-point band in 4. The recipe, lots of long OTB games. I played 15 serious 90-30 games, Tuesday night marathons in San Francisco, and the National Open in Vegas. And 12 of those games were against higher-rated opponents. Since the start of 25, I've seen my USCF rating shoot up 300. Whoa, 37 points. Yeah. The daily tactics diet prescribed by my coach, Nose all over a year ago, continues to power me forward, along with repeated endgame algorithms. Well, this is beautiful. Okay, so let's go take a look at the ambush. Now, I'm going to guess, just looking at the ambush, that he's not logging his business. He is logging when he plays, but I don't think he is logging his other tasks. Look at that USCF staircase, buddy. Dang, that's the real deal. That is the real deal over there. Okay. So ambush, for my benefit, it would be cool if you could, you log your business. Okay. Clubs. SF Bay Area. Beautiful. Let's see if we got a game. I'm sure we do. So this is ambush against Oliver. Maybe probably one of these OTB games he's playing. So, boom. Oh, look at that. Beautiful time graph. Beautiful. So as you can see, I think our time management rating works better with the 30-second increment because you can see Ambush was living off it there at the end. Yeah. Final round of the Vegas tournament. He's on 3 out of 6. And as per tradition, the winner of the round 7 game also gets to keep the vinyl board and pieces. Oh, that's cool. So I'm in a weird position where a win is a much more desirable for me than even a draw. It's a gruff, older German dude from Texas who reminds me of the villain from the unreleased, from an unreleased Die Hard sequel. I loved Die Hard when it came out. I thought that was amazing. That was like 1988 or something like that. All right, here we go. Fine. A little weird. Okay. So, he plays Queen A4. It's definitely a weird move. Knight F3, D4. Got to be the normal things to do. Now we're getting frisky. Okay, it's getting frisky. Now the basic thing for black would just be to take that pawn on D5. All right, maybe black thought there was a threat, but there isn't one. So we develop. Takes. Castle's good. E6, fine. Good. So what we want to say is your moves with Queen A4 and Bishop B5, it's not clear they're doing anything. All right, Rook B8. I don't like it. The easiest way for black to play this is just to say, Babus, I'm just going to either take and then play Bishop B7 or Bishop B7 castles. And eventually you're the one who's going to have to worry about me playing Knight B6 and winning your business. All right, so Rook B8, loss of time. Good. Fine. G6, not a happy move to make. Loss of tempo. Yeah, it's a fair question. Are you threatening to take? Totally fair question. Eventually, though, you will be. Yeah. Bishop G5. You know, it's hard to argue with that move. Okay. Knight E5. Maybe. I would prefer Knight BD2. And he writes, it took me a few passes through this game to realize this was not a great move. Here's what I wrote the first time around through. Part of me thinks Knight B2 is wiser here, just getting my final minor piece out. Rook E1 also seems useful. But that E5 square looks so juicy, and black needs to meet the threat of Knight C6. Here's the thing. Knight C6 is an empty threat because black is dying to play Bishop B7 anyway. Well said. So without any concrete threats, the argument becomes whether the knight is better on E5 than F3. Maybe it's good on E5, but let's consider the anchor pawn on D4, which we can get a problem. So, yeah. Now, you still got an interesting game, and also just from a competitive standpoint, what I would say is when we play this, it might be good for us to think about playing Knight D4 whenever he captures. I want that option. Okay, so here we go. Takes. C4, frisky. I'm not sure about this move, which weakens B4. Now, I get it because also on CD, you're running into this Knight B4 stuff. So a good lesson is just to say, oh, the reason this is all going wrong for you is because of a development problem, even though black has their own development issues. C4, he finds this simple move. Okay. Now, he must develop. He must develop. Finally. Check to the miserable king. Okay. Knight D7. Good move, Bishop H6. All right, I would call this a critical little momentito. And you say, I hadn't seen this coming, but it makes a lot of sense. Oh, yeah, okay. Well played by your opponent. Now, he's not out of the woods yet. You think for 10 minutes. Now, by the way, this is definitely a good moment to think 10 minutes. I'm not sure I agree with this move, but it's definitely a good moment to think about it. Now, maybe we should also say that if you wanted to put the knight on d3, just put it there, bud. Just put it there. If you wanted the access to f4, then you're going to need to put it on d3. Right? Now, in this position, we want to stress that black isn't really completely out of the woods yet. So when we think about these moves, maybe I have this in the offing. Rook c1, I might get some business going. Black hasn't developed fully yet. If king f7, there's queen c4. So they have their own issues to figure out. So we don't like this move. a5, I don't like it. No, it can't be played just like that. f4, good. All right. Here we come. And now knight ef3, and you see that bishop f4 is stronger. Bishop f4. Black is hanging all their stuff. Nota bene, black didn't develop. They deserve death. Still, besides you miss bishop f4, you've got a great little position going. And now you do this to me, queen d7. The first thing I notice about black's last move is the possibility of discovering an attack on the f rook. So, when we do this, though, have we really done ourselves a favor? Let's go look at the resulting position. Right? Have we done ourselves a favor? Okay, I guess you're trying to say you're going to win the pawn on f6 and you're going to feel good about life. Okay. So, king f7. Here's a question I have for you. Look at this one. Knight g5. Now, on king g8, I can do other things like move my knight in. On king e8, there's actually this move, right? Because if pawn takes knight, I got, wow, bam! Right? Okay, so queen d7. We'll get a little endgame here. Okay. Not sure about bishop a6, but it makes some sense. Maybe bishop a6 was a very good move, honestly. Okay, good move. Good move. Had it to him. Snip. Boom. And now, oh, yeah, king e8 is the big question for me. So, king e8. Rook f6, rook b2, rook a6, rook d2, rook a5. Should be a draw, but we'd rather be black, I think. Yeah, I'd rather be black, but it's going to be a draw. Okay, so rook e8, but now maybe you're better here. Check, so it's the same position, except now your king is better. Okay, he says no, I don't want it. Playing with fire. Okay, now knight b3 is what was played. Knight e4 looks maybe more compelling to me. Now I do have questions. d2. And you find rook d6 check. Oh, that's a nice one, buddy. That's a nice welcome to the dojo moment there. Yep. Dang. Oh, some weird stuff happens, though. So, he talks now about rook e6. Wow, rook e6. Wait a second, though. I mean, I got questions. Isn't the simple way of doing things, queen, just if you didn't want to think about life too much? You go here, 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 here and you say, oh, that's a winning endgame. I'm going to win the A pawn. That's the easy way. You don't have to be a genius. Rook d6 is genius. Genius move. Let's show it again. Bang! I'm hoping you found that without the computer. That's a beautiful move. A beauty. Okay, so knight b5, your opponent blunders. Check. Boom. All right, now we're in a rook endgame where I'm a pawn up. Is this drawn for masters or for two computers? All right, the simple question for me is, can your king become active over on the queen side? If it can, then you're going to win this thing. If not, then I don't know. So king e4 is the big question. That's our big one right there. Can we do king e4? Variation might go like king e6, king d4. If rook d5, I have king c3. I'm walking over. I want to get to this pawn. It's not only to get to the pawn, but I need the king to shepherd the white pawns up the board. Maybe king d6, king here, king here. This would be the position I would want to consider. Maybe black is fine, but we still just are starting. We're still starting the drama here. Okay, so b3, king e6. Don't like it. Now you're just helping the king in. Poor move. He needs to go to the other side. Good. Good. Rook a4 is probably the simplest. Rook d4. Rook. Oh, there we got him. There we got him. Welcome to the dojo, sir. Welcome to the dojo. Arsenal says it was an easy draw. I don't think so. This should be an easy win. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Let's go. All right, he should have resigned. We're going to resign for him. 4.5 hours of fighting chess. Black resigns and leaves the board in a huff without signing the score sheet. I am overcome with joy and relief. I won! Welcome to the dojo. We got a question from Arsenal fan. Can black play a4 after b3? I didn't like b3, but let's go. Where was this? b3. I'm not thrilled with that move. We go here, and I guess you got to play rook b4. And now we got to analyze it some, but the default question would be, can I get my rook? Ooh, actually I can't. I was going to play a3, being clever, to get my rook behind, but on a3 there's this. So let's pause for a second. I still don't like it for black. Rook d3, I'm going to bring, I just need to, if I can get my king around, I'm going to win this thing. Okay, so I'm going to review that bad boy. So next up we have Imagian. Thank you to I Am Bruce for his guide to game analysis and how to analyze your games. That's a book we got. You can get it in Kindle. You can get it in normal book size. It's a huge book. I found this incredibly helpful to have specific things to look at, and especially having permission to set a time limit. Before this, I gave up analysis because I was finding it impossible to stop and it was taking over my life. Now, although my analysis may not be the truth, I learn a little bit from each game and it is a pleasure to analyze. And I think it's working. I'm graduating, right? And Imagian, dude, this guy's been graduating all the time. So, Canada, 1231, beautiful. Maybe he's not putting in all his work here. Some people don't log all their business. He's got a lot of games and analysis going on. That's good. No clubs. Tell us something about yourself, Imagian. There we go. For a second, I was like, what? He doesn't have no games after talking all that smack? Now, this is back in April. It's a little bit long for my taste. It's a while back. But I guess we're going to do this one. This is the Grand Pacific Open. We don't have a clock. Go over here, game review. E3 weird. Oh, so a lot of people love to do this, and it's just poor. But okay, here we go. C5 not great. D5 is our move. What do? They play for little tricks. Good. Fine. 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 Oh, that's not good. Now, you played rook FD1. Couldn't we play knight D5, knight C7? Winning the house, I guess. We can still do it. We can still do it. There we go. Why aren't we playing knight C7? He doesn't see it for whatever reason. He's talking about bishop A7 and other moves, but knight C7 is just, maybe I'm missing something. I'm playing the U.S. Senior Open, Skeptics, which is the poor man's version. Now is that a clever move? I don't know. Hanging his coconuts. There we go. Now we're winning. Thank you. Now notice, you can give up an exchange or a bishop. He decides, I'll give up the exchange. Good, not falling for the cheapo. Thank you very much. He's just moving around and around. There we go. I like this. I like this. There, beautiful. You want to trade off all your stuff, buddy? That's fine with us. It's just rough here. Check to the miserable king. Oh, wait, now, that was actually black resigned when he got the queen. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm coming right back.
Welcome to Dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine did he hacking? He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to.
Skebik says, boss, you got second last time. How come you don't qualify this year? I think I've been robbed, honestly. They said, dude, they were like, dude, you did so great, blah, blah, blah. We think you're a genius. We want to bring you back next year. And did they? No, they did not. Where's my invite, boss? Hey, St. Louis, where's my invite? Dang. The jerks. That's right. Okay, let's continue here. How many do we got? Oh, no. We got quite a few, my friends, and we have a podcast at 2 here I got to get ready for. So I'm going to try to finish. If I don't finish, I don't finish. John the Real McCoy says, I found this program to be an amazing addition to my return to chess. Having returned after a 27-year break, I was overwhelmed with all the new options for training, finding the dojo. I have found the structure I need, slowly improving and learning. Slow is steady. Steady is best. Oh, I couldn't agree more. There we go. So, State of Washington, we're going to give him a follow. Look at that. He is working. The man is working. Chess team at Rainier Beach High School in Seattle. Okay, John, listen up. This is my ask to you. When you do that high school, set them up as a team here at the dojo. Then they can have their own club and everything, and they can use the training program. If you think you got even a couple kids, talk to us and we'll try to cut you some deal. Okay? I am going to play U.S. Senior Open, which is significantly less strong, at the end of this month. So that is at least coming from me there. Okay, clubs. Army Vets, Seattle, beautiful. We got some good activity, just started. Games, we got some games? We do. All right, this is 90 plus 15, kind of a weird time control, but okay. So there's our beautiful time graph, and John McCoy's doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Maybe he might have gotten tired at the end. We'll see. All right, so game review. One thing we want to say is I love the basics. Just talk about capturing the center. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Fine. Fine. Poor. Right, lost a chance to do the C pawn. Fine. A little weird. Okay. Okay, I would have preferred rook c1. What? What are you doing? So now he goes for this. This is a little funky. I would have preferred rook c1. Okay, here we go. No, I don't like it. If you're going to do this stuff, you might as well play b4. No idea what black's doing. Ooh, terrible move. Okay, this is poor. You're still maybe better, but this is poor because he's so cramped for space. We just play bishop d3. We don't want to let him loose at all. Here maybe knight d7 or bishop e8, then knight d7. Good move. Okay, he's trying to trade some stuff off. Now a4, good move. b5, good move. All right, so you're doing great. Well, actually, I want to say that last sequence, very nice, where you opened up the A file, you are slowly controlling this game. Queen e8 doesn't do anything. Notice, black needs to be sensitive to fixing their knight. They gotta play knight f6, Bows. Good move. Okay, not fixing their knight. Now their knight has nowhere to come back to. Queen a7. Now this is a good-looking move, and you spent 415 on it, but there's a bigger question at stake, John. Could you have won the sad knight with g4? Ambush, glad you're here. I think you could have won that thing, bud. Okay, queen a7. You could still do it. You still play g4. You still play g4. You still play g4. Now is the best time. Now is the best time to play g4. Oh, he's just giving you all his coconuts. As long as we don't get mated back there now, we're fine. There we go. Okay. I would have preferred rook takes e8 here. But, you know, we're not going to sing. Actually, it's all the same. What are we saying? Come on. Okay, your move is better than my rook e8. I take it back. That was a great game. Even though we missed the whole g4 thing, and there was a couple of funky moves, what I really appreciated about that was you gave him like a slow build-up, and it might seem easy for people watching, but honestly, it's a skill that's harder for... Usually at this level, what we're seeing is like a look to basic tactics, little threats, and you were building the position in a way that I thought your opponent clearly didn't understand, and you just built and built, and then you're winning. That's what we like to see. Okay, that's the McCoy. Oh, and Dr. Visa here. I don't know if he's actually a doctor. Andrew Visa has been in my Dojo game annotation group. And now that he's graduated, we're doing the next one. Is going to be for 1300 to 1600. So he's going to be involved in that one too. Let's read what he says. The dojo has been fantastic for me, and the first time I've worked on chess with structure and consistency. Enjoyed all the tasks, especially since switching off the engine. Community is wonderful, and thanks to everyone who discussed positions, games, and ideas. Special thanks to Chess Caviar for being my main training buddy, as well as Jesse, Kosi, and Luke for the review sessions. And David for the excellent videos on games and tactical improvement. If you review a game, the recent one against J. Botvinnik would be useful. Okay, let's go take a look. Look at this guy. Look at that heat map. He's flying. Okay, so I think he's up there in Seattle too. And he's not actually German, but he grew up in Germany. And then, I don't know, he's been traveling the world. It's like, how did I end up in Seattle? He said, I don't know. I actually do know, but I understand. I kind of ended up in Baltimore in similar ways that he ended up in Seattle. All right, here we go. Here is Jay Botvinnik. Let's mark this. We're going to see times. So, I don't know. Let's see if we got some info on this game. So, the monthly Swiss on chess.com. And very typical, our opponent is not thinking, right? And maybe we can argue that Andrew should have spent a little bit more time too. All right. So, fine. I think he's just playing this on feel, which is okay. In general, knight c6 is the normal move here. Okay. Actually, now we've transposed. You could do it this way too. Queen d2, a6, good move. g3, poor, not developing. So, this is an idea cribbed from Reddy's description of Rubinstein's play in the French in Modern Ideas. Developing the dark square bishop on the f1, h3 diagonal is intended to pressure black's center. Okay. Now, I've played this position actually more times, thousands. Thousands of games, at least in Blitz. I've had this position. And, and the, let's just say the main move is going to be castles. Okay, so g3, okay, bishop g2, okay, frisky. b5 is definitely more normal. And now you have just a very simple, classic position where you are better. You're not winning or anything, but you are better. Good move. I think you could also castle short if you wanted to. All right, here we go. b5, simple and strong. Good. Rook b8. He's trying to force through b4. Okay. Now, what should we do? You say rook d2 question mark, and we're going to read what you said. Put that on the board. He thinks for 4.5 minutes here on rook d2. I saw that the c3 knight had squares to go to after a b5, b4 push, so wanted to do something useful in the meantime, particularly as I thought knight c3, a4, c5 might be good after b4. I didn't want to play knight e2, intending knight d4, f3, e5, since I thought I might need to maintain some force on the queen side for black's coming attack. Doubling rooks with providing lateral defense on the second rank seemed worthwhile, though I didn't and still don't find it completely convincing. Okay. Now rook e2, e5 is no bueno because we just take, and bishop g4, we take this thing and we're holding the rook. Or maybe actually he could play b4 and then e5. No, he still no. We take with the rook, takes e5. But that doesn't mean rook e2 is a good move. Okay, let's think about it for a second. What should he have done? He talks about bishop h3, but you got to deal with e5. Now Now, I'm not sure about this, but let me just note something. F5. If he plays EF, we claim that we're better after knight D5. Is it that special, though? Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm just looking. Give me a second. I'm just looking. I'm just looking. Maybe queen E5 is also interesting. The intention would be bishop B7 and now bishop H3 or F5 now. That's also kind of interesting. So now if you imagine this position is a little bit better than the last time we got it. And you'd have to calculate B4 pawn takes, and we'd like to feel good about this. We'd like to feel good. Do we? Do we? I think so. I think we feel good about it. It's a little scary. Okay. So, rook D2, B4, and now knight A4. So, this looks problematic because of queen A5. And you're right, queen A5 was my main worry because B3, bishop, and then he's going to get rid of his business. Right? Now, king B2 I don't like. If you were going to try to play this position, I think we want to consider knight C5, knight D7, and we're holding this coconut here. Rook E6. And I think you are actually significantly better here. Right? Because, well, you're going to win the D5 pawn. You're threatening stuff like rook E7. So I think you missed knight C5 in that analysis. Okay. And you really need to see it when you play knight A4, because you don't have to play knight A4. Your position is still quite nice with knight D1 here, here, and here. So that's just a help for you. That wasn't it. And now you say thank you very much. And you're totally winning. Rook E5. That isn't it. Bishop D5. Yeah, okay. Good. Good. Oh, that's that. You can't argue with that. Now you're getting frisky. Okay. Now you're doing the cheap threat, Andrew. That's I was wondering with queen D4. I was like, is he just doing the cheap old threat? Yeah, it doesn't even do anything. So look, here's the thing I want you to see. At this stage of the game, it's a little bit hard in the sense that you need to consolidate the position, right? So, and your king is going to have some grief no matter how we play, right? King's going to be in a little bit of grief. So making threats like rook h5 isn't it. We either got to play like b3 or we got to find something concrete with rook d7. Now, queen d4, here, instead of rook h5, rook d7 is got to be our main question, right? Now, there's rook e1 and all kinds of things there. It's going to go rook e1, rook d1, and it's a snip-snop, and, you know, it's a little complicated, but we should be on top. This, though, that scares the bejeezles out of me. Rook e3, I don't know. A mouse slip, and he resigned immediately. I wouldn't have offered to reset. I never offered to reset the position. I never give him that chance, Andrew. Now, it's presumably they wanted to play rook e1. I really want to stress this is like a cheap threat that's not actually even a threat. So rook h5, yeah, scares me. Now, b3, I don't know. I feel like we've lost control over here a little bit, right? Okay, my friends, well done. Andrew, we're going to be going over some games of his in the next annotation thing. If you guys want to join, there's still some spots left open. We're going to start next Monday. And now we have Keon. Keon doesn't tell us much. We're going to give him a follow. Just joined. 1405. Nothing. Do we got some games? We got one game. So, rankweise learning. Okay. This isn't annotated though. We're going to hope to see some more of Keon soon. Get a real game annotated up there. Just joined. Just joined. Okay. Keon, hopefully we're going to see you again soon. See some more work up there. Darvisha says, great training plan. Let's go give a look at Darvisha. So he's done a bunch of work. Looking good. I'm going to give him a follow. Clubs. French. There we go. We want to see this number grow. The Germans and the English, a little higher than you Frenchies. All right. Games. Do we got a game? Just joined as well. So nothing from Darvisha. And now we have Avocado Lobster. Hi, Jesse. I don't know if much changed for me this cohort in terms of my fundamental understanding of the game. But since last graduation, where I insisted you yell at me as of my time usage, I have had it as my goal to not play a game where I would be embarrassed for having my time usage shown during the show. This was tremendously helped by the new time management rating. My average TMR over the last 4 OTB was 2572, whereas before it was 1916. While I know it is a metric that should never be used as a standalone tool, well, I definitely think it'll tell you something. It definitely motivates me to be more mindful of the time dimension of the game. Having a TMR below 2000 will from now on be a badge of shame for me. I find that using my time does not prevent mistakes or blunders, but I do tend to find and punish my opponent's mistakes, which I definitely think is partly attributable to using my time more consistently. While my games are still won and lost mostly on tactics, I think that I will need to do some opening work for the next cohort, as I find I often get into some trouble in the opening or early middle game. Once I have developed my pieces but don't really know what to do from there. Dedicating time to understand some structures and playing into those will probably help me find more candidate moves faster. 2 final notes. You will notice that my heat map has cooled off since the end of April. This is a result of ending parental leave and living with 2 kids and a full-time job. Ouch! Furthermore, my K factor will in the future be 20 instead of 40, so I expect my graduations to take much more time from here. Okay, Avocado, let's go take a look. So, from Copenhagen, he's got some kids. He's working hard. He's got all his goals listed up here. Oh, this is pretty good. Get Jesse to say welcome to the dojo during a review of one of my games. Okay, beautiful. I like this a lot. And you can see there, he's got this FIDE rating, and he's actually up there. So his chess.com's lower. But his FIDE rating, look at that. He could graduate again. It's nice, too, that it's slowly going up. Okay. So let's take a look. We got the Danish club going on over here. 13 members in the Danish club. Okay. Games. Let's go all uploads. There we go. So, this is a spring tournament. First, we're going to look at the time. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Very nice time usage. Very nice. That's GM level right there. That is GM level time usage. His opponent, not too shabby, too. Interesting that it levels out. Sometimes we hit an end game or something and people stop thinking. We'll see what's going on when we hit the game. So, fine. Fine. A little weird. Okay, fine. Okay. I would prefer at H3 there, but you're doing okay. Good. Now, interesting momentito. Could we play G4 and then knight H4? Or even just G4 to lock the bishop in? I don't understand this move. This move I don't like either. Because it's weakening the black position. Holy moly. And you talk about ed5. I don't like ed5. I think the simplest, honestly, is just to play f3. Right? Because these are all weak pawns, and we don't want... If he moves forward, we're fine with that. We are fine with that. d4. Now, let's just say, in general, black wants to open the position for his bishop, in particular, this bad boy. And before we moved the pawn to d4, we were holding this square. Now we're not. And all kinds of bishop g6 stuffs are just staring at us in the face now. Okay. ed4 looks good for him. Absolutely. So, minor mistake. And now you're alive again. Okay. f4. Interesting. He misses knight g3. Got a little lucky. Queen d2. f5. Poor move. Now, the simple way for black to get a very nice position is bishop e4, and you can see that that bishop will then be very strong. And that's what we mean by an unopposed bishop. Now, f5, you just killed that bishop. Now, please fix your knight, sir. Thank you. Okay. Good. That isn't it. Terrible move. Good. Good. Simple and strong. I don't like it. The position is starting to open up and the knight is doing little, so it decides to offer itself. The problem is the knight's not doing anything over there. He could play bishop d5 or something, which he does. What move should you do? Well, just put your rook over here, or put this one. Put this one. Okay. Okay, we're sending us back where we want. Now he finally finds a square, unfortunately for us. Notice that good. Now you're going to get it, maybe get his bishop. Take it! There we go, buddy. That was a huge win. The simple chess, I like it. Oh, we're just taking all his stuff now. Thank you very much. No, you're doing great. Oh, I just take it all. Just give me it all. And he resigns. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. I should have said welcome to the dojo in there. I should have said it. But you didn't crack him. You know, you didn't give him one of those welcome to the dojo moves. So I'm going to save that for the next time. In general, we want to say you outplayed your opponent. And the one that you should remember as a mistake is this one. Oh, excuse me, not that one. It was your d4. I clicked on a d4, but it was actually this d4. Just because it's wrong in principle. You have the pawn structure. He has the bishops. He wants to open the position, especially he wants to open the light squares. A move like f3 will shut the light squares down. Also, knight h2. You shouldn't feel good about that either. Okay, let's move on. Will I make it through this? I don't know. I gotta be at the... I got to help out with a show pretty soon, but here, let's just see what I can do. All right, look at this progress over here. Flying up the charts. Now, I think this is, no, he's been here for a while. So, I don't know quite what's going on with the pawn goblin. I don't think we got anything. Now, I'm going to say I'm mildly thankful. Pawn goblin, you know what you got to do. You got to start using your heat map. You got to put in some games. Little b pawn. I joined too low. Shout me out when I hit 2100. Let's just see what's going on here. He might be too. No, he's doing all right. He joined too low. You're fine where you are here. Just joined. So aiming at national master in 1 to 2 years. Now let me just say. Well, I don't. Do we have a USCF? Put your USCF in here, especially if that's your goal. All right, clubs, nothing. Games, I don't know. We might no games. I'm going to say I'm mildly thankful because I got a time constraint. But little b pawn, you know what you got to do, bud. Especially if you want to make it, you need to annotate them games. All right, we got one more. B Cirillo. Doesn't feel like a real graduation yet. I need to get my OTB ramped up finally, but a few things. First, I've only been tracking my dojo time for about a month. Second, my biggest gains are always when I'm studying tactics and not changing my openings. Okay. Third, fellow adult learners, if you love opening prep, do it last for the day. Okay. Last thing, stress is a huge part of the equation. I play about 100 to 200 points worse when I'm stressing. Oh man, PhD student, 32-hour intern, 20 hours research assistant, triathlon training, so he's stressed. The points always come back, just keep grinding. Okay, I like this guy. This guy's an overachiever. I like the triathlon, he's an alpha. USCF is left over from high school, not my preferred measure yet, maybe in a couple months. So, fair enough. So he's up there, crushing it with 2168. Now, I want to say this about the ChessCom Rapid. When you get to this level at ChessCom, it's basically 50% cheaters. So it's very unsatisfying. If you play the dojo, of course, playing the dojo round robin, you will not be facing the cheaters, right? But I just want to stress, if you're just kind of doing it on a casual basis, finding random opponents, it's going to be 50% cheaters and you'll just be driving yourself mad. So eventually, right, you'll put it into an OTB. We got some clubs. Adult improver, fine. Tell us more. I want to hear about the triathlon, how old you are, what kind of work you're doing, the PhD student, all that stuff. All right, so joined, you can see the heat map is coming together pretty well just now. Do we got some games? We got games. So, he's playing Mishra. I don't know if we want to look at that one because he's probably got wasted. He's playing this big old dude. Let's do this one just because he isn't playing some big old dude here. It's a normal game. Playing a friend since the other team didn't show up. Okay, let's take a look here. We don't have the times. Let's go game review. All right. Fine. Fine, this is all pretty well known. Okay, knight c6, and now c4. d4, this is all theory Bashmiri here. e3 is the white's best move. Okay, poor. h6, very ambitious, okay. Poor, not developing. Bishop e6, probably okay. Bishop e7 seems safer to me. Good. Good. Now you're just doing great. You got the bishops, you got the center, everything's going well. c1 looks funky. Now you play knight a5, which I'm not sure I understand. So, I got confusions. The guy plays knight bd2, or excuse me, knight ed2. I don't understand knight a5 because if we just play b3, aren't we doing nothing over there? Is it because you want to play b5 next? Maybe. Maybe it's pretty deep, actually. Maybe he's saying to himself, if b3, I got this move. Oh, maybe knight a5 was a good move. Okay. It did not look correct to me because, first of all, black's position here is already amazing. We got the bishops. We got everything going on. All right. So, knight a5. I don't like the decentralization. Now, maybe this is a clever move. So he's saying, if you take everything, I'll have bishop b7. However, he's not fixing his knight on b1. Right? Not fix him. Knight a5 surprises me, but maybe it's a fine move. Okay. Boom. And now he doesn't like f5. Or he thinks it's funky. So, what should he do? Bishop e7 comes to mind, right? I don't understand. I don't know what f5 does. Knight b3. And he was expecting b3. Okay, knight b3. Very frisky. Rook c4. Oh, okay. He's at least, you know, brought out some stuffs here. Okay, very frisky move, e4. It would be simpler to just play king d7, give him the pawn on b7. It's not that important of a pawn. Then play something like bishop c5. And you're winning, honestly, because your bishops are so strong. This just scares me because of rook c7. Now, maybe it's okay for you, but you can understand my fear. All right. Rook c8. Now, if knight c4, I think the assumption is that we're doing great because of king d8. Okay, now maybe we're doing fine. Knight c4. Excuse me. Okay, so now, if takes, I'd rather play king c7 because in this one, yeah, this should be a draw. Okay, now this is a little bit chess understanding. So, 3 minutes on the clock, he had about 9-ish. This was a low on the clock move, he says, with knight c4. But I don't think you want to take it. So, king c7, you mentioned. And you mentioned then g4. I don't know if I get it. Yeah, I think what he's saying is he should have done this, which I agree with. So bishop c4. And now this is a draw. Probably good. Fine. No, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Did someone blunder this away? f4. Oh. Well, it's going to be a draw from the start. So, I think it was a draw. Not bad for a new opening. I think there's a lot of stuff going on there. It would help if you put in the times, right? I think I feel pretty good about your chess progress. Like, he knew this from a different line, right? This is a known thing. Here, e3 is the main move. Very interesting. Poor. And I think this is all fine. The problem is I mean, that's a sad move, huh? This guy he's playing isn't developing his coconuts is the main thing. And, you know, even though we're at a kind of high level, the not developing of the coconuts is key. This one, though, we got to say, Bishop, this was unnecessary, Bishop e6, right? Just Bishop e7. And then this queen b5, completely unnecessary. The guy's got to develop. He's got to develop, buddy. A very basic and nice move here could be b4 with the intention that if bishop b4, we have bishop c6. White will gain some counterplay. All right. Okay, my friends. Somebody rated and I didn't even see. I didn't even see who it was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed you. I got to get out of here because we have a Dojo talks to record. We're going to talk with the people who made first the book Perfect Your Chess, one of the greatest tactics books ever, and then now created Turbocharger Chess, which I also think is a great book. So that's why I got to leave us here. But I will be back next Wednesday. Maybe some other stuff. David will be on too. Maybe the Coast will come on and do some stuff as well. We are going to rate somebody. Who are we going to rate? Well, that's a good question. Let's raid. I don't know. The Chess Nerd Live. That's who we're going to raid. The Chess Nerd Live. Friend of the Dojo. Say hi to that guy from me. If you don't know what you've been looking at, this has been the Dojo training program. Go check it out. Oh man, we developed this thing. All right, say hi to the nerd.